Hello, everyone. Welcome to another round of session wherein you get candid with me, Akriti. So, for today's topic, we have selected a very peculiar one. Do you know what the topic is? Today, we're going to dive deeper into the world of coding. Now, a lot of people will ask that coding is specifically for coders, but the truth is far from that. Coding is a representation of a message, which may include words, letters, or symbols. Anything that we use as a form of speaking or conveying something is coding. So when we use the term okay, it comes from the term wherein we say all correct, which actually means all right or correct. Even our facial expressions, the kind of, verbal or facial expressions that we give, right? Frowning our face or just, you know, uh, looking at different directions, everything is a form of coding. Even emojis that we use to, converse with our friends, the angry emoji or maybe the pizza one, happy, sunshine, star, everything is a form of coding. So we have our two coding experts over here, whom we can also refer to as coding artists. So we have Manoj and Nusaiba from igebra. So I want to welcome both of you and thank you so much for taking out some time for us from your busy schedule. So how are you doing both, Manoj and Nusaiba?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. And thank you for inviting us to talk on the most trending topic right now. So thank you for inviting us.
Yes, we are glad. How are you, Nusaiba?
All good, and thank you for having me on this show.
Yes, we are very glad and we were very happy to know that you both of you can actually make for it. So today we're going to talk about why is coding important and how coding is affecting around us, the world around us. So I'll begin with Nusaiba. Why do you think we need coding in today's world?
Okay, so as we already know that technology is moving at a very fast pace, and we all need to keep up with it.
Hmm.
All means everybody, be it kids or adults or anyone for that matter. So we need to introduce this to kids of young age, I would say.
Right,
Firstly, because they have a social exposure from a very young age, and
right,
to mold them into something that will benefit them in future is very important, because when you have exposure to so many things, you can go into things that are not good for you, and you can also choose things that are. So it's better to give them a path that will benefit them in future. And
right,
secondly, parents already know what is good for them, good for their kids, right? Because we all know it's all about technology, it's all about artificial intelligence, data science, machine language, and all that. And to introduce them these things is very necessary, I would say.
right,
So we have taken a step to introduce coding to students in igebra, and we make sure to at least teach them the basics of it,
right.
like why is it important, why do we need it, how can we benefit from it. So that's all about, that's what I think, that coding is important and to introduce this to kids of
Right.
very young age.
Very well said, Saiba. And taking this question further, I want to ask Manoj that why have we specifically selected Scala language for teaching children? Why not any other language?
Yeah, actually, that's a very good question. That question comes around to me a lot of time. The
Right.
thing is, there are many coding languages in this world, right? Like we have in India itself, we have around so many regional languages. Similar, there are coding languages. But what about Scala? What's special in Scala? Okay, so Scala is an object-oriented program with which tells you about functions, classes, objects, and it runs on JavaScript machine.
Right.
I can bet on that none of us have understood any words here. Neither do I understand. Okay, so why? Like, and to teach kids, we need basically a simple language which we speak on our day-to-day life, and that is what Scala gives us. So instead of getting into deeper into these words of object-oriented functions, classes, objects, Forget it. It's just simple. It's just like saying hi. It's just saying like, let's go forward. So we go forward. Let's just take a right turn. So right. Since it's very simple and it can be easily taught to anyone, and it's easier to build logic, we have chosen Scala as a language to teach.
So is simplicity the only criteria for selecting this language?
Yeah, no, not only the simplicity, but the format which we write it. Okay, the pictures which it gives. It has a turtle which draws pictures, and I can tell you that we, as of when we studied in our school days, we never liked to like rectify or learn the answers. We always like to, okay, visuals. The first book I opened, I was always searching for pictures. Where are pictures? Where are pictures? We
True.
always do that. So
Yeah.
that is what Scala does. It draws pictures, it draws live pictures, and you can relate it much better. That is one more benefit why we have chosen Scala.
So maybe to put this into simpler thing, that Scala is a simpler language, and number two, it is very visual, right?
Yes,
A lot of
yes.
visuals are there, right? Okay, great, good to know. So Ms. Saiba, as we know that Scala is simpler language in comparison with other languages. Why do you think teaching coding at such a nascent age, is it beneficial for children, and why are we doing it?
It definitely is beneficial, as I already told you that they are exposed to so much right now, kids, young kids. So it's better to give them a direction, a good direction,
Right,
I would say. Because when we introduce coding, it's not just the words that we have to write, but it is something that we say solution. We come up with solutions. What if we have to do something? How can we form the solution to that? So it's about forming solutions, giving answers to something, logic behind it. So if we, for example, are interacting with a student and we are telling him to just get up, shut the door, and get your pen or something, then there's a step that he needs to follow. He needs to first get up, then open the door, get his pen, come back, shut the door, and sit again where he was. So it's about problem solving. So it's not just about writing the words, it's about solutions. And when you know how to do it, then why not? Why not introduce this to kids of very young age?
right. So it is all about giving commands, right?
Yes.
So if I give you a command of shutting down your video, so that is something coding, right?
Yeah, you're giving
Yeah,
me a
you just
command.
coded me.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah, both of you are doing it. So that is, so coding is anything which is, how do I say, feeding it into your system, giving you some kind of, command, yeah,
Command,
Order.
yes.
Yeah.
some order, right?
Yes.
That you can say. Right. Oh, that's a very beautiful way of putting it together. Thank you, Nusaiba. It's very easy to understand this way. So Manoj, when we talk about that, we wish to, strike a balance between mathematics as well as coding. So do you think, is there a balance between these two, or we are just kind of, thrashing coding inside mathematics somewhere? So can you explain it with an example how we are, how can we actually do justice to mathematics as well as to coding? So what is the balance between these two?
Oh, that's great. So basically, maths and coding go hand in hand.
Right,
Okay,
right,
it's like in cricket, we have bat and ball. Neither one of them can individually survive. No, mathematics can individually survive actually. But yeah, with the moving pace, as Saiba said, we need coding. So
right.
coding can't survive without mathematics. So today I have one small example. I'll show you why math, coding, and what's the creative aspect of it. Okay.
Right.
So the first thing that we learn about mathematics when we grow, like when we are small, is addition. Like add two numbers, 2 + 2, 4. Correct? And then we go grow a little much bigger, and then we learn multiplication. Oh, and then we understand, oh, multiplication is nothing but repeatedly adding the numbers. 2 into 2, 4. So you add 2 two
Plus.
times. Same thing with a very simple logic in code. I'll show you with some blocks. Okay, let me share my screen and let me know if my screen is visible. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yeah, we can see this.
Okay, yeah. So here I've written a very small piece of code, which is a very simple code, and I guess anyone who knows coding or can easily relate it, it's a very simple one. Okay, and here if you can see, I have written 3 and 3, so which basically means 3 multiplied by 3, and let's see what it gives you the answer as. Okay, so it gives you 3 columns and 3 rows, right?
Okay.
So it just, and when you obviously when you count the block, you will get it 9.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Now this is how you build your logic. Okay, the blocks are building, and from here, from the small things, our further mathematics is built. Matrix, logic, all things are built from these small blocks which we see here. Correct. And let's say if you want to change the numbers, if you guys just change this to 4, then how much? V means vertical. So vertically you'll have 4 things and horizontally 3. And obviously 4 3s are 12.
Well,
Correct. 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. We just added and it gave us the answer of multiplication itself. So
Right.
this is where we strike, we coded, we learned mathematics, we learned multiplication with the
And
help of coding, and it's boom, very simple, right? And now, okay, where's the creative aspect? Can you show some creative aspect of it? Okay, I'll show you some creative aspect of it as well. Okay, I've just commented some things. I'll uncomment them and then you just see it. Okay, I'll just make it 5 and 5 so that 5 5s are Nusaiba?
25.
5 5s are 45. Great. Okay, so 5 5s is 25 and you say 25 blocks. I'll just see and it will be very good. Like you can see this, and Akriti will tell me what it looks like.
yes.
Okay, wait, I'll just make this as super fast. And yeah, okay, maybe my teacher didn't teach me super spelling. Okay,
It should be.
yeah, fast spelling also. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, so how does it look, Akriti?
Looks like a disco thing. That
Exactly, looks like a disco thing. And what do we do in disco? We dance, we have fun. Correct. So we went from addition, we went to multiplication, we coded it, and here's the creative part, the disco lightings. Correct. So this is how mathematics is like everywhere, and you see the creative aspect of it as well. So yeah, I taught you disco. I showed you disco.
was the best example that we can actually, showcase it to the children to make them understand math.
Yes.
Yeah, that was lovely, Manoj. So you have shown us how we can, there is a balance between mathematics and coding. And Nusaiba has also explained that, coding is just simple as giving command. How can we apply coding and, specifically creative coding in our day-to-day lifestyle? We can put it in math, we can showcase it in math, we can showcase it into our creative aspect, but how can you incorporate creative coding in day-to-day life?
Okay, that's again a very good question. So coding, what's coding? Coding is basically a language where you have some words and you build some logics based on it. Okay, now there are 2 types of people. Okay, I'll just again present my screen. Okay, then there are 2 types of people who are coding something this way. Okay, we are just making a square. How do you make a square? You go forward. Okay, I'll just annotate something. You go forward, take a right, take a right, go forward, take a right, and you draw a square. Very simple thing, right? That's what I'm written here. I told you Scala is a simple language. Forward, right, forward, right, forward, right. Okay, I'm sorry. Forward, right, and when you run it, you can see this. You are getting a square. This is what normal people do, right? This is what aam zindagi. If you know Hindi, if you don't know, then it's ordinary people. What ordinary people do. But what we do, we have some logic. We can see here, we can build some logic. Okay, this thing is just repeating again and again and again and again and again and again. Right? Can we use a simple loop here? Can we again and again just repeat it? Yes, we can. And here you go. You can see mentor zindagi. Extraordinary people write this way, right? You write repeat and you just write forward, right? So you don't have to write so much things. Did you see it made our life easier? Maybe it just saved 2 minutes here,
Yes.
right? 2 minutes of your writing, 2 minutes of your time. Those 2 minutes maybe you can utilize somewhere else. So when you build that logic in you, you go through this simple thing. Okay, another question is, where do we relate it in our daily life?
Right.
Okay, everyone must have, like, most of us will have a TV at our home, right?
Right.
TV at our home, we press a button, right? If I want the volume to go up, we press a button. Okay, volume go up, volume come down, go up. So it's just pressing buttons, right?
Right.
Then there is something called as functions in our thing, which is basically nothing but coding, or which is nothing but day-to-day life, where we press a button. Let's say the shape is a button, and when I increase it, let's say I write from 6, I increase it to 7, you'll
Exactly.
see a 7-sided figure. This is what we do, right? We increase the volume from 6 to 7, just
Yeah.
pressing the button. And we have just coded the logic behind it as well. When I just press 8, you'll see a 8-sided figure. Okay, and believe me, it is 8-sided. And when you press just 4, okay, you won't believe me, see this 4, just a square, right? So day-to-day life, we have just related it to coding. We remote, we just press button and we see something magical. So this is where, like, coding is just wow.
Correct, correct. I think it is very well said that, someone who is a hard worker will, do it in the ordinary sense. But someone who's
Yes,
very smart will actually find out ways to do the same thing in a
in a
lesser
much
time
quicker way, yes.
and, yeah, it's in a better way. So,
And then they'll utilize their time somewhere else.
correct, correct. Which is, I think, smart study, being
Yes,
smart over here.
yes.
So, yeah, very nice. And the humor, I think, part was very, very appreciated, Manoj. So I'm sure a lot of kids must be loving your class. We can ask
Yeah.
why do they do it. So we've, majorly we've covered all the aspects that we wish to, when we are talking about, into going into the world of creative coding. So, how creative coding can actually help children to become better thinkers and better leaders in the coming future? So, Nusaiba, would you like to take this forward?
Well, creativity is needed everywhere. Even if you have to chop vegetables, you need creativity sometimes, not always, but you do. So it's needed everywhere. And of course, when we talk about being leaders, being someone you always wish to be, you need to be creative. You need to be a smart worker than a hard worker. And yes, coding is needed and smart work. That's it. That's it from my side.
I believe leaders can be, shaped down in any arena, in any scenario. And it is just with the right set of trainers, I believe, with the right set of mentors, we can actually create a difference in the world. So, Manoj, just taking this question forward,
Mhm.
how do you think coding will be able to help the leaders? As I can see, a lot of people have, a lot of young children, have created a smaller version of Alexa. I think I was going through a phase.
Yes, yes.
So, how is it, going forward and how it is actually affecting the rest of the world?
Oh, how is coding affecting rest of the world? Oh, so when you see as I called it, some tasks we do in our day-to-day life that are quite monotonous, which you get up, do it, just the same things, right? Now I'll come to one of an example. Okay, if I can share it. In office, like 90% offices in India are just doing two things: either working on Excels, either working on my PowerPoints.
Correct.
Correct. And if a good leader or a good thinker can spend some time, maybe 10 days, 20 days, to automate this, right? You just don't have to drag and drop every picture on the PPT. You just have to just enter all the values on the Excel. If you can automate this, you are saving a lot of your time and a
Correct.
lot of your resources as well. And once you save your resources, you can utilize them better of by telling them to think, use this rather than just your hands. So
Right.
this is where I see, like, the coding going forward, it will be quite a bit automation, and automation in a good aspect. We are not taking anyone's jobs or something, but we will be optimizing it so that they can think and use our mind, not just be monotonous on a work. This is what I think going forward it is
Becoming
going to
more
be.
creative, right?
Becoming more creative, actually. We need creative people. We like doing just entering values. I guess many of all of India can do it.
Right. So I think that was a lovely discussion with both of you, and we actually dig a lot deeper into the world of
Yes.
creative coding. So thank you so much, Manoj and Nasaiba, for taking out your precious time for us and enlightening our audience with all of your thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.